Hello everyone, I am Rajeshri Rao and today we are going to discuss about the production of secondary metabolites. In previous lecture, we discussed about the production of primary metabolites which includes some organic acids, enzymes and vitamins and their production process. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about the secondary metabolite production. So, secondary metabolites is the nothing but the chemical substance which is inhibit the growth of microorganism or it directly destroy the harmful microorganisms. Industrial microbiology can be used to produce antibiotics via the process of fermentation, where the source of microorganism is grown on or in the large containers containing a liquid growth medium. Here is the concentration of oxygen, pH, temperature and the nutrient level must be optimal and are closely monitored and adjusted if necessary. As antibiotics are secondary metabolites, the population size must be controlled very carefully to ensure that maximum yield is obtained before the cells die. Once the process is complete, the antibiotic must be extracted and purified to a crystalline product or the powder form. So, the first antibiotics is the penicillin, which is produced by the fermentation process. As the microorganisms produce penicillin is the Penicillium notatum. Early methods of production relied on the utilization of submerged fermentation, but in recent times the development of suitable substrate has led to the widespread use of solid state fermentation over submerged fermentation. So here is the general flow chart of antibiotic production, which includes the steps like media preparation. It means media usually contains some sources which is required for the microorganism and for the fermentation process. Next is the heat sterilization. The heat sterilization is done using the high temperature or the high pressure. After that the fermentation. Here is the fermentation for the penicillin is done in the feed batch mode. So the temperature and the pH are maintained here. After that the culture. The seed culture is developed by addition of penicillin spore into a liquid medium. When it has grown up to an acceptable amount, it will be inoculated into the fermenter. The culture is added into the fermenter, which includes the media for the fermentation process. After that, the biomass removal. The rotary vacuum filter is commonly used to do this, to maintain the pH between 6 to 6.5. Phosphoric acid is added as the pH will be high up to 8.5. To maintain the pH, we are adding here the phosphoric acid. After that, the solvent addition. So, when we add the solvent, the penicillin is dissolved into this solvent. Here is the solvent used for the penicillin is the butyl acetate. After that, the centrifugal extraction. This is done to separate the solid waste from the liquid solution containing penicillin. So, the separation of our penicillin product and the solid waste we using the centrifugal extraction process. After that, the drying. Drying is necessary to completely remove the moisture content from the penicillin salt. After that, the isolation, purification and refining of the antibiotics. So, it includes when we isolate the antibiotic from the fermentation broth. Here is the purification done, which is using some chromatographic techniques, as here is the ion exchange or the solvent extraction method. So, after that, the antibiotic is converted into the purified powder form and it's further going for the packaging process and the shipping. So, here is in this chart some examples of antibiotics. sources of microorganisms and type of fermentation used for this antibiotic production. Okay, so in next is the penicillin. So the penicillin is produced by Penicillium chrysogenum, is an excellent example of a fermentation for which careful adjustment of the medium composition is used to achieve maximum yield. Rapid production of cells, which can occur when high levels of glucose as used as a carbon source. It does not lead to maximum antibiotics yield. So, if particular penicillin is needed here, the specific precursor is added to the medium. For example, the phenylacetic acid. Phenylacetic acid is added to maximize the production of penicillin G, which has a benzene side chain. This stirring process is used to maximize the production of desired compound. The fermentation pH is maintained around neutrality by addition of sterile alkali, which assures maximum stability of the newly synthesized penicillin. So, once the fermentation is completed, the normally which is takes 6 to 7 days. After that, the broth is separated from the fungal mycelium and processed by absorption, precipitation and crystallization to yield the final product. This basic product can then be modified by chemical processes to yield a variety of semisynthetic penicillin. This is the penicillin, which is the antibiotic production via the fermentation process. Next is the streptomycin. Streptomycin is a secondary metabolite produced by Streptomyces griseus, for which changes in environmental condition and substrate availability also influence final product accumulation. In this fermentation, a soybean based medium is used with glucose as a carbon source. The nitrogen source is thus combined from as it includes the soybean meal, which limits growth. After growth, the antibiotic level in the culture begin to increase under the condition of control nitrogen limitation. So, this is about the antibiotic production. Next is the production of recombinant product. Recombinant DNA technology involves the scientific alteration of the structure of genetic material in a living organism. It involves the production and use of recombinant DNA and has been employed to create bacteria that synthesize insulin and other human products. So, the insulin is a hormone. Okay. The production of genetically engineered insulin, this is the process for the insulin production. So, first is what is meant by insulin. Insulin is a hormone produced by beta cells of islet of Langerhans of pancreas. So, insulin is produced by the pancreatic cells. And next is the pancreas is mixed gland situated transversely across the upper abdomen behind stomach and spleen. Insulin is peptide hormone produced by pancreas and is central regulator of carbohydrates and fat metabolism in the body. So, originally insulin was first identified from dog pancreas, which was commercially produced from various sources like fetal calf pancreas obtained from slaughterhouses. Now, human insulin protein is mass produced through genetic engineering process. There are many methods to produce recombinant human insulin in both bacteria and the yeast. One typical scheme for preparing human insulin utilizes proinsulin that is produced in E. coli cytoplasm as an inclusion body of a fusion protein. So, next is the manufacturing of human insulin using microbes. So, the human insulin is extracted from pancreas cells and an insulin producing gene is isolated. Okay, so a plasmid DNA is extracted from a bacterium and cut with restriction enzyme forming a plasmid vector. So, next is the insert human insulin producing gene into the bacterial plasmid vector to form the recombinant DNA of human insulin producing gene. After that, this introduce recombinant DNA into a bacterial cell to form the recombinant bacteria. The recombinant bacteria multiply in a fermentation tank and produce the human insulin. After that, the insulin is extracted, purified and bottled. Okay, so it is then ready to be injected into a diabetic patient. So basic steps in recombinant DNA technology is similar for insulin production also. It means first the preparation of vector plasmid. Okay, so the vector plasmid includes a human insulin producing gene, and after that the production of the recombinant bacterium, and this recombinant bacterium is growth or the bacterium is multiplied into the fermentation tank. After that, the fermentation process, the bacterium is multiplied and produce the more amount of human insulin, and after that the insulin is extracted and purified and bottled. So these steps involved in the production of insulin is first, here is the E. coli bacterial cells and the human cells. The insulin gene from the human cells are cut via the restriction enzyme, and also the vector of E. coli or the plasmid of E. coli is cut via the restriction enzyme, and this human insulin producing gene is incorporated into this plasmid. After that, this plasmid is transferred into the E. coli. This E. coli is bacterium cell is the recombinant cell. After that, the multiplication of these bacterial cells are done in the fermentation tank, and in this process or in the fermentation process, the human insulin gene is produced, okay, by the bacterium cell as the bacteria is multiplied. The final stage is the extraction of recombinant insulin. Next is the production of growth hormone. Growth hormone is one of the most important hormone in human body. The core center for production of growth hormone is pituitary gland. The action of growth hormone is either direct or indirect on the human physiological process. But in some children, malfunction of growth hormone results in abnormal growth of the individual. In cases of this condition, recombinant growth hormone is useful for the treatment. Okay, so the gene for human growth hormone is isolated from human pituitary gland. Okay, so after that, the insertion of whole human growth hormone gene into a plasmid vector and cloning into a E. coli results in production of biological inactive hormone, because bacteria can translate the region of gene that are not translated in human, thereby producing a pre-hormone containing an extra 26 amino acids which might be difficult to remove. Hence, the segment of gene that codes for the first 24 amino acids of hormone is constructed chemically from blocks of nucleotide. So, human growth hormone has a versatile functions. such as first is the it activates the production of protein in cells by releasing some essential factors. After that, it helps in fastening of or the fastening the production of DNA and RNA. And next is the it accelerates the generation of red blood cells and augments the flow of blood to the kidney and the rate at which the kidney does its vital filtration work. And the fourth one is it play a major role in maintaining the level of fat in the body. So this is the general diagram of for the production of human growth hormones by recombinant DNA technology. So first is the bacterial cells, which contains the plasmid, and the human cell, which contains the whole genome. And from this, the human genome, which codes for the human growth hormone, are cut and it is placed into the or the it inserted into the bacterial plasmid with with the help of the ligase enzyme. After that, the recombinant plasmid are formed, and this plasmid is transferred into the or is transferred into the bacterial cells. These bacterial cells are then multiplied by the fermentation process. So as the fermentation goes on, the bacterial cells multiplied, the production of human growth hormone also done. After that, we isolate this human growth hormone from the bacterial cells. This is the flow chart of production of human growth hormone by recombinant fermentation process. It includes first is the production medium and the inoculum development as the recombinant E. coli. After that, the production fermentation. Next is the cell harvesting. Example is the ultrafiltration. After that, the mechanical cell breakage and the centrifugation. So to isolate the human growth hormone from the E. coli cells, we want to break this cell wall. So this done by the chemical cell breakage. Okay. So after that, the centrifugation. It means after that, the centrifugation, the cell debris are discarded and the cell free extract. It includes the precipitation of nucleic acids with polyethylamine. So after that, the ammonium sulfate treatment of the supernat. So for the supernatant, we provide the treatment of the ammonium sulfate. After that, the recovery of protein fraction by centrifugation. So as the centrifugation done, we extract the protein or the recover the protein from this extract. So after that, the resuspension of protein pellet. And next, when we resuspense the protein pellet, the chromatographic technique are used. Here is the ion exchange chromatography is used. After that, it follows the anion exchange chromatography and the cation exchange chromatography. After that, the ammonium sulfate precipitation. The precipitation are done using the ammonium sulfate. So the recovery and resuspension of protein. And next is the gel filtration, and the purified human growth hormone are isolated from the bacterial cells. So this is the flowchart for the production of human growth hormones by recombinant fermentation method. So this is about the secondary metabolite production. It includes the antibiotics and also some production of human growth hormone and the production of recombinant product, as it includes the insulin, which is genetically engineered, and using the fermentation process we produce insulin and human growth hormone. Okay, so thank you everyone.